discuss this with our health correspondent, Nicola Hill. She's in London for us. Hi there, Nicola. Nicola, just talk us through exactly what the study has shown.
It's a very interesting study. It's a small one, as you said there, that it's been done on mice. But basically, the doctors from the University of Munich noticed they had a patient who came in, who'd been vaccinated, who ended up with one of these blood clots. And they wanted to investigate a theory they had, which is if you give your vaccine intravenously into the vein by mistake, it's going straight into the blood system. It's not going deep enough. It's not going into the muscle where it's supposed to go deeper into the body. And what they suggest is that people really should ensure that any vaccine that's done, it should be aspirated first of all, and this is what used to be common practice when jabs were given. In other words, the injection's put in your arm, the needle's slightly withdrawn a little bit just to make sure there's no blood in it before you then put the product, the vaccine, into the body. Now, what they saw is that in mice, if the vaccine had been given intravenously, i.e. straight into the blood system, they saw this collection of platelets, which we know cause blood clots, and that's why their theory is possibly that this is what's causing this incredibly rare side effect. And I have to keep emphasising it's incredibly rare because we know that some people were put off having the AstraZeneca or the Janssen vaccines because of this. The numbers are like 1 in 200,000 cases. So that's why obviously any investigation, any research looking into what's the possible cause of this, because they simply don't know what's causing, they call it TTS, thrombocytopenia, thrombotic thrombocytopenia syndrome. It's a bit of a mouthful to say there, so we just call it blood clots most of the time. But lots of research is underway at the moment trying to find out what is the cause, why is this happening with certainly 2 of these vaccines, and the other one's working in this adenovirus sector. I had spoken via email to Dr. Nicola, who is the lead author of this study, and he said the reason they investigated in the first place is that they know that when an adenovirus is given in gene therapy, it can cause this platelet clumping, and that was what gave him the light bulb moment to investigate it in these vaccines.
Well, Nicola, what reaction has there been to this study?
Well, that's a really interesting one because I contacted Oxford University because you'd imagine they would really want to know if this is something that's the cause, because it sort of means that the technology being used in this vaccine is okay. But they just said to me that they can't comment on research done elsewhere, which is fair enough. Now, as you highlighted there, this has not been peer-reviewed. This is a preprint study that's been published on the bioRxiv website. And this is where scientists put information straight away because they want to share their research as quickly as possible. And it's because of all this that we've had amazing access to information, to data, that scientists have been learning from each other throughout the pandemic. So it hasn't been peer reviewed. Obviously it will be investigated now. I put calls into AstraZeneca, but I haven't heard back from them either. So I think at the moment there's no comments on it until we hear further details from experts who will peer review the study, and then whether they want to decide to do more research looking into it, and that's when we'll find out. But I did speak to a scientist friend of mine who said that when they went to get their vaccine, they did ask the person giving the injection to aspirate, to check that it was going straight into the muscle, and whether that's something, that takes much longer. That's why it hasn't been done, it's not being done, and I certainly don't want to advocate that's what we should suggest people should do, because that's not the case. And I have to highlight, this hasn't been proven. This is just a theory that's being discussed.
Nicola, thanks so much for explaining that so well to us, speaking to us there from London.